你肯定是要 focus， 就是要集中在一个地方做。
You need to have some very innovative things.
谢谢今天请我过来介绍一下 Bucket.
How do you balance your life?
How do you promote them? Whom you're competing with?
What do you need from me?
会东西人才由梦想舞台及创新大计，欢迎您来到《西游记》，我是主持人丁维平。When other people saying we cannot, and we say why not? Dingding TV is also a startup. For startup, you really need the platform for the startup to show who you are, to show people your dream. That's why we're doing this.
The show will go like this. We will introduce you as the company. Judge will give you an overall voting. This project is fundable or not fundable.
希望就是给我团队和我团队的产品做一个宣传。
I'm actually looking to pick his brain for strategies of how to get into the market.
I hope that the judges will like me, obviously.
我对今天得到评委们的支持还是很有信心的。
我有点紧张，因为这位那个 VC 非常聪明。
Actually, yes, I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to this very much.
当年唐僧带着孙悟空等人吧去西方取经，实际上现在中美的合作已经是互相取经。西游记实际上是把高技术带到中国，同时中国呢又给高技术提供了很多市场。
我们向子园在这几年都是在帮助这有创业意识的人去创业，希望西游记能够鼓励更多的年轻的人能够走进这一步，
希望能够给创业的同仁提供一个新的渠道。
你们心里面有准备，我们就有准备来支持你们。
那自己要把自己定位，自己是什么样的人才？
你在创业的时候如果你能找少的合作伙伴，而不要找太多的。
The first and foremost is you have to have a good team.
You really have to be passionate about what you are doing.
You have to first go for the people with whom you have chemistry.
The starting team define the scalability.
Most important is to be engaged and to listen.
Creativity, optimism, and perseverance. Finding the entry point to leverage yourself.
创业像一首歌，或者说《西游记》这个节目呢，也像一首歌一样，需要坚持你的节奏，知道你的旋律，而且把这个声音呢从内心发出来。
So we'll provide apps for retail stores.
Simplified version.
它还不是一个 spam，
是一个 pocket transfer anything freely between.
我觉得能够和这么多非常有经验的这些评委老师有很深入的一个交流，我觉得特别开心。
It is a very good opportunity for me to present our project in front of so many experienced VC.
They give a lot of good comments.
It's very helpful.
Battle Silicon help the Silicon Valley entrepreneurs to connect with the most senior VC angel investors.
It's a very wonderful combination of startup media company, media producers, judges, and also very wonderful contestants.
I think the design of the show is very well suited for entrepreneurs who wants to become successful.
We encourage every startup to come here.
Just follow your dream, to do what you love.
我自己在创业，所以我觉得如果我们能够帮助创业的人，让他这一段路呢，让他不再孤独，让他觉得说有人跟你一起走，然后有好的经验和你一起分享，也有导师帮你提出非常有建设性的建议，这个呢就是我们的初衷啊。
We always complain that why we do not always
why
come
you
to
use
US.
he instead of her?
Sorry.
Diana Ding, founder and CEO of Silicon Valley Innovation Channel, Dingding TV, Santa Clara County Asian American Hero Award winner.
Hello everybody, welcome to Battle Silicon. I'm Diana Ding, and we're so honored here to be in Hong Kong Cyberport. We have our judges here, so we're going to invite the second team, AtCipher, Jack Poon, to the stage.
We come to Battle Silicon to learn, to make some friends, and hopefully get some financing for springboard our business.
Nice to meet you. So Jack, now you start to tell us about your business.
Take. Over 500 cyber attacks were launched in the last 3 seconds. They target for companies, government organizations, and individuals. No one is immune. The motive, it depends. For financial institutes and companies, it's about greed. For government organizations, it's about making a point. For individual, it's about getting to know you or make a fool of you. A couple of years ago, my partner and I were getting together discussing the growth of cloud services. We love to enjoy the services of putting our private and confidential information over in the cloud. We also know that the service providers and cyber attackers are looking into my personal information. My emails, my cloud storage, my contacts, anything that is personal to me. So what we'd like to do is to find ways to enjoy the cloud services, but at the same time to protect our data privacy. So we took on a journey. My partner, who is a professor with 20 years of cybersecurity experience and specialized in cryptology, and myself, who used the design microprocessor for Intel in Silicon Valley, and with 3 master's degrees from Caltech, Stanford, and Chicago both. It took us 6 months to figure out the solutions. What we did is we combined the latest research in cryptologies and scalable technologies, putting together something that the chief security officer of an investment banker would call a very clever solutions. What we did is we put data privacy control back to the hand of the users without the need of understanding very complex mathematical formulas, with the ability to share, and with a security level that is as good as what a financial institute would use today. Instead of what a financial institute would use today. So what we did is we decided to put this to test in the market. We decided to put this in test in the market. So what we did is we take Dropbox, which is one of the most popular cloud storage that has 300 million users. But there's something that Snowden will label as insecure. So what we decided to do is to make Dropbox secure. The idea is that we will encrypt all the information before we send it to the cloud storage, so that Dropbox and cyber attacker will not be able to gain access to your information. As a result, the data privacy can be protected. Okay. We are here to raise 1.5 million to help us to go to market and to actually expand the engineering teams.
Well, Jack, are you a little bit nervous?
Yes, I'm actually quite nervous.
Quite nervous. Well, actually,
because I think the previous speaker did really well. So when I was looking at it, I was a bit nervous into how natural he did it and whether I should give a pretty kind of well-prepared speech.
No,
so
actually, be yourself, because it sounds like you have a lot of very valuable experience. So
yes.
Yeah, so that's your strength.
Yeah.
So let's hear Jack's questions. Peter.
Hi. You mentioned that it took you and your partner 6 months to build maybe a technology prototype. That sounded to me that the technology is not that difficult. That's the first question. So you want to answer that, right? When you talk to investors, you want to emphasize you're capable, but not to de-emphasize the entry barrier in the technology is so difficult, so low. That's the first thing. Second thing is you kept on mentioning Dropbox. Are you targeting a B2C market? If so, you will have a free version going up to a lot of customer acquisition.
Yes.
But then there will be a last holy grail where you want to start charging people. Where will the line be drawn, as far as you can think of at this moment?
Okay,
Thank you.
So first, let me answer your first questions. It took us 6 months to actually figure out the algorithm to solve the problem.
It turns out it was not a simple algorithm because the research in cryptology and what is being used today actually is around 40 years old. So in order for us to enable what we do to do the type of sharings or the type of one-to-many sharings that we want to enable, it took us 6 months to actually take different set of crypto algorithm and put it together to make it to work. And that was just the beginning. And then it takes another 6 months for us to actually put together the platform and to test out the algorithm to make sure that it indeed provide the functions that we want to. Okay?
So if it's a Symantec that allocates 50 people, 50 PhDs from Caltech and Stanford, will they be able to beat you easily?
I think within probably once they understand the concept of what we are trying to do, and by the way, our concept is protected by patents. We have 2 patents on this file already. Once they understand concept, I would say there will be people who can probably copy and follow in probably 12 months to 18 months time. So at the moment, we believe we actually have an 18 months lead in order to come up with the
capabilities. Got it. In that case, you'll need to have a product roadmap.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second part is we are actually, one of the reasons why we come to this Battle of Silicon is to understand what is the best plan of going to market. And we have been getting feedbacks from various people, advisors, people whom we talk to in here in Silicon Valley as to what's the best way to launch, right? So it's always going to be a balance between whether we want to grow very rapidly or we want to actually make money from the very beginning. Okay, so at the moment we actually have a 2-tier business model. The first tier is essentially a free model, where you can actually download the program and be able to encrypt all your information and send it to Dropbox. Okay, and the second tier model will be something like a pay model, whereby you actually have to pay in order for it to share it with other people. Okay, and we also have a referral program that we have designed. The way the referral program works is if you help us to refer 1 additional member, you can share with 1 additional member for free. So essentially, it's almost a limited type of expansion on the ability of number of people whom you can share with. Now, the advantage of that is it allows us to grow very rapidly and also allow us to endorse our technology that this is a user experience that the market would desire.
In our Q&A, you're not nervous at all. You did great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very good. It's great. Yeah, be yourself and be natural yourself. It sounds great. That's already your question.
Sure. A few questions. One is, you mentioned this is client-based encryption.
Yes.
Is this CPU dependent, or how much CPU are you using in order to encrypt the file before sending?
Okay, so we actually did some benchmark in terms of the client-side encryptions. It turns out that with today's CPUs, with today's CPU on computers and cell phone and all these things, the CPU was never a limitation in terms of the encryption speed. It's really the network. Okay, so after you encrypt the information, you have to actually send it to a cloud or some kind of a cloud services where you synchronize the information. That is the limitations. Okay.
So in terms of the size of the files you need to encrypt, for example, on your cell phone, it's not going to be a problem.
There is no limitations on the size. In fact, one of the tests that we did is we were trying to run it on the Apple Mac Air with 6 movies encrypting and decrypting at the same time. It just runs smoothly without any problems. And in terms of cell phone, we had a cell phone apps at one point in time that is Android-based, and it can encrypt and decrypt message without any problems.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason I think a lot of people has done server-based versus client-based. Is very much depends on the cell phone model, right? So I'd say that's probably one thing that you need to consider from a business perspective.
Sure.
From something you mentioned in terms of the, it's just a quick comment, something you mentioned that in order for people to share, they need to pay for it. In my mind, if you want to grow quickly, you may even want to give that for free and think about something else. I understand your tiering model. I think for you it's viral effect, right? Because in many ways, how to grow very quickly. And then if you want to give then you need to think about B2B versus B2C. I think I agree on that comment. B2C is different business model versus B2B, right? If you want to make money quickly, then potentially you want to target B2B market, and B2B where you basically need to package a lot of provision, a lot of management software associated with that, or at least manage capability so that where B2C you don't need to think through that. So think through that strategy in terms of the business model first. Again, I think I tend to advise is think through the endpoint. How are you going to make money and go backwards?
Okay. So thank you very much for the input.
Okay, Tat?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I want to talk about the tech, but I'm aware that we don't have enough time. I'm aware that it's...
No, go ahead, ask your question.
I'll gloss that over. I think I've got other pressing questions. I think with the freemium model, I totally get it. But the thing is, there are so many freemium products, right? How do you market this, right? How the heck will people understand that this is the product to get if they're on Dropbox and they're worried about the NSA?
Okay, so first of all, everyone knows that free model is probably one of the easiest to kind of grow users. But still, with the free model, how are you going to actually attract the customer? This is actually the process we are going through now. We are evaluating multiple options. For example, I was just in Silicon Valley trying to attend what we call, there is a security startup challenge, which we are being admitted in one of the programs. So one of the things that they will teach us to do is how do you actually go to market? How do you actually solicit user? What channel do you use? How do you actually measure it? With only 2 days, we actually gain a lot. That's one part that we are doing. The second part is we are in the process of evaluating whether we should conduct a crowdfunding event through some of the very popular crowdfunding sites. And the purpose of doing the crowdfunding is not that much of how much money we can raise or how much user can we start. It's really kind of go out there and tell people and say, hey, such product exists, you have the ability to try it, how many people will actually endorse it. Now, on the third part, we also have been doing a lot of user studies, both within the university and with some investment banker who has experience in using the security products. And so far, with some of the competitive product that they have been using compared to the user experience that they have been using on ours, I think they almost like all give us the thumb up in terms of the ability to use, the ease of use, and how you can actually share information so easily while keeping it very secure within the cloud.
Okay, you're going to press on that a little bit more. So the ease of use, are there any other advantages to this compared to the other people other than the ease of use? And the ease of use, is it Dropbox is relatively easy to use. What's about the ease of use?
Okay, so if you were to look at the trade-off, right? Oftentimes, Dropbox was able to get the 300 million users aside from the fact that they do very well on growth hacking. It also because it's much easier to use than any other product existing outside. On the other axis, what happened is the company that come in with security storage, they tend to say, hey, we're going to beef up the security, and with the existing technology, it's actually very difficult for them to make it easy to use. And the user almost have to be somewhat aware of security in order for them to use the product. And in our case, with our new technology, what we can do is we can actually strike a balance. We can actually both do the ease of use and the security part. And in fact, we actually test out our product not only with some security people who has been using a competitive product. After they use it, they will come to us and say, wow, this is so much easier. When can I have it? Or when we try it on people who has known nothing about security, and after playing with it for like half an hour, and she would immediately ask me and say, hey, where is the security? It's like, I don't even feel it. I'm working on something. And we can show it to them that all the information sitting in Dropbox is all encrypted, and he or she doesn't have to change the behavior. And that's really is the key that hitting home.
Cool. My last question, very quickly. I'm going to go a very different direction than my colleague Ray here. I'm going to, instead of talking about the tech, I want to talk about the team. Sounds like it's just you and your partner. Can you talk to me a little bit more about the rest of your team? What's the makeup of the team?
Okay. Currently, we have 3 people. Myself, 2 full-time persons. Okay. And my partner is currently part-time. And then we have 2 interns. I just recruited one of the guys who used to work for me 12 years ago. His last job was with Goldman Sachs, so he is going to come and work for us.
Okay, now your time is up. Very good. Let's see the judges vote for your business plan. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, congratulations. You got 3 vote yes, 2 vote no. Let's come into the EQ session.
Okay.
We have number 2 already taken, so you get other numbers. Which number you would like to choose? 3. Okay, let's see the question and the 3.
Okay, so one thing about being a psychologist is that, I look at human behavior from small things, because big things are easy to hide. I can say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but small things are harder to hide. So this question is about small thing. You got your customer's order wrong, and you say, sorry, I thought you said green tea. B, sorry. C, I'm sorry, let me get it right this time. D, sorry for the inconvenience caused by this. What would you choose?
A, B, C, D. Which one you are going to choose?
I think a combination of D and C. I would definitely apologize for the inconvenience that we have caused them. But at the same time, I think we want to make sure we did it properly.
Okay. So what's wrong with A and B?
I think A is just being arrogant. B is just a bit too short. Doesn't really kind of say anything. It's like just anyone casually saying sorry.
Very cool. Actually, that happened to me. I was standing in Starbucks and observed the interaction for the next 5 minutes. And this person keeps saying, sorry, I thought you said this. Sorry, I thought you said that. And yes, A is a little bit arrogant. You blame the other. Let's not do that. B is sorry. And C and D. So thank you for the answer.
It's great. So let's see the judges vote for you. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. Okay, now you got an opportunity to draw a number to ask a question from one of the judge. Yes.
The number depends on which judge, right?
Yes. Just draw out. I'm going to tell you the number. Number 3, that's Peter.
So Peter, may I understand why you turned me down the first time?
I like that.
Sorry, let me try to understand what you were saying. Turning you down is an easy decision, but it doesn't mean it can be turned down forever. So I think there's still a door open to be discussed. The main reason why I turned you down is I use an Android phone, and I think I'm not a really poor person. But when Android, the WhatsApp version of Android started charging me $1 a year, I decided not to use WhatsApp. So what I heard is something towards the direction that you're going through a B2C model.
Yes.
But I do not hear a significant enough pain that the consumer is having such that they're willing to even take $1 out of their pocket in one 12-month period to pay for that. So I think your technology definitely has value there, but where the pain is such that money can flow into that pain is something that I have not heard today. But I welcome further discussion with you on this particular topic. Okay. Thank you.
Wow, thanks. Do you think he turned you on right now?
No, I think it's a fair point, because when we talk to people, a lot of people felt that security product is not something that they need or they care. Okay, and I think we do see the divide of a group of consumers whereby they say, well, I don't really care. I post everything on my Facebook here and there, and do I really care about security, right? But on the other hand, you see a major shift. Like, for example, a couple of days ago, Europeans actually announced that cybersecurity is one of their top priority now. And there are users that cares about it. And we actually did a survey for, I wouldn't say a survey, but an informal interaction with executive MBAs from US, executive MBA from Europe, and also working with some executive MBA now in Asia. And what we did find out is people in Europe tends to be very conscious about that, and they do care. And when we talk about our products, like all these MBA students would say, yeah, where can I have it? I really like to have it. And I didn't know that there was such a thing exists. And US is a bit mixed. And Asia, for a large extent, I would say they don't care as much, or they are not willing to pay. So as such, one of the reasons why we are here is because we felt that our market is not necessarily in Hong Kong or specifically in Asia. We happen to be started in here. So we're in the process of looking into whether we should tackle European market or US market and how we're going to tackle that. So to that point, that's one part. The second part, I think, to your question is we actually find out that people are willing to pay for security product, and once they start paying, they are very, very sticky. Because there is a group of people who doesn't mind paying even $100 per year in order to do this. And in fact, when we did the survey, we were surprised because some of the Europeans say, hey, I'm willing to pay $30 per month to just to use something like this. So I think the spectrum is wide, that we are not necessarily hitting the general consumer public. We're hitting a specific set of segment who really cares about securities.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Jack. That's a very good explanation. Actually, sometimes people say no today doesn't mean no for tomorrow.
Sure.
Even no doesn't mean no. Actually, it's a very good learning process. Yes. Very good. And after this, you should go ahead and talk to Peter and get to know more from each other. So regarding the 西游记, So who do you think you are and why?
I probably will pick Tang Sanzang.
Why?
Why? Because I think he is very clear on his goal, what he wants to do. He has very strong belief, and there is a lot of difficulties every step he takes. And not only does he try to, well, he doesn't try to solve all the problem by himself. He actually leverage on his apprentice and all these people to come and help him to solve his problem and walk all the way to really the dream or the goal that he was charged of to do. And I think that's the spirit that entrepreneurs should take.
I think that all the characters on the Hsieh are the entrepreneurs. And that means that lots of people, lots of Yaojing is going to kill you. But you will get your help, your angels all the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, let's see the judges' final voting for your foundable or not. 3, 2, 1. Wow, congratulations. Well, I noticed that Ray, you still give him a no. Why?
Jack, I think you're determined and persistent, so I like that. I do think that a company, again, just like Peter, when I say no, there's certain improvement in my mind because there's only 10 minutes to understand what you have told us, right? So based on what I heard, you have a good solution. You have good technology. You're looking for a pinpoint. Essentially, I think the pinpoint is there, but it's not very clearly, I say, articulated in my mind. Right, that's one. The second is just from the go-to-market. I think a lot to do today. If it's B2B as channels, or B2C as channels, a lot is how you go to market. In my mind, it's not very clear. Okay. And the third is, since this is a technology startup, in many ways you have good technology, you understand what to differentiate that. I do want to see how there's a bunch of these kind of client-based technology guys out there. For example, there's Spider Oaks and those kind of guys, right? So how you're different, I haven't seen that yet. So maybe if you give me more information, I might think yes, but based on the information you have, I would say, in my mind, differentiation is not that significant. How you go to market has not been clearly articulated. Where the pain point, the paying points are not clearly defined at this moment. So that's kind of the reason why.
Okay, may I just respond quickly?
Sure, go ahead.
For the Spider comparison, feel free to download our software and use it. We can give you a link. And I think we benchmark a few of the Spider users. Almost all of them, after they use it, they come back and say they'll use ours. So it's something you can try. On the corporate part, B2B, we actually thought about that, and we put some effort in doing that. And in fact, we know what it takes to put our technology into the B2B roadmap. Last year, we were one of the Accenture FinTech Innovation Lab company. So we were talking to all the banks, and we happened to have access to the CTO, CSO of all the people. So we have the channel, we have the contact, and we understand very well what they need. In fact, we can, if given resources, we can actually come up with a product that fit very well into what they want. And I checked with my friends from Microsoft; she asked for exactly the same thing. And the issue that we were concerned in going into the B2B market is whether this is proven. Because oftentimes what we find out is, even though it works exactly to your specification, people will say, this is way too new. Can you test it out in a market whereby there is at least 500,000 users, 2 million users who has been using this, then come back to us. So in my mind, it was very clear that our curve not only going to be in B2C, B2C is going to be a position or beachhead for us to establish the credibilities. The real money to be made, we know for sure eventually is to walk over to the B2B. And we are prepared to do that with our existing technology today already. It's a matter of working towards that product and have enough credibility to tackle that market.
Thanks.
Okay, so Leslie.
Yeah, obviously you are very innovative in terms of the technology side. Sure. What motivates you to do this project? Do you have any personal experience or challenge, security related?
I think it's a combination of both. First, I have many years of experience, and I work in technology, I work in finance, I also work in general management. And ultimately, because I started my career with Intel, and I really love technology, and that's what my master is based on, I always like to still go back to technology. Something that is more mind-stimulating, something that challenges me, something that keeps me going on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's what drives me back to working on technology. And this is one of the motivation behind that. And there are easier problems to solve, which we can solve. But what I want to do is to do something that there is a sufficient entry barrier, which we know from some of Peter's question is, we know we have 18 months lead. If given enough resources, we will continue to lead. And if we can continue to lead, I think we actually have a game-changing technology that will change the way security or encryption is being worked in the cloud.
Mm-hmm. So Catherine, do you have any comment?
Because I don't have a technology background and I'm not an IT guy, but as a user, I saw that there are many similar platforms in the market, and they all claim that they have high security.
Sure.
So I don't see your edge, and I think you should focus on B2B market.
Okay.
Because B2C market, there are many competitors, and what would be your edge? Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of we actually analyze a lot of the security company that is outside in terms of providing similar services. To dive into a little bit about technology, in terms of encryption, there are really two major sets. One is what they call symmetric encryption, whereby almost everyone uses it to encrypt the data. The second part of the encryption technology is really how we exchange secret. And that's one of the key things that hasn't changed for the last 40 years. And even when you log on to HSBC account or any bank account, all the SSL using that 40 years old technology. And our specific of the technology is how you can actually share information from 1 to N without limitations. So for example, when I was in a security conference workshop 2 weeks ago, one of the guys was a frequent user of Box Crypto. And it's okay for him to encrypt his own information, but when he wants to share it, when he activates the word share, the command share, it depends on the number of files. It takes him hours to re-encrypt all the information. For us, it's like this. That's done. Everything is re-encrypted. And that's the type of platform and experience that you want when you want to share private and confidential information with others, instead of spending hours and hours to re-encrypt all your data. And this is the limitation of what most of the other platform has. Compared to ours, it's within seconds.
I know your product is good, but how are you going to market it? What is your marketing plan?
Okay, so this is something that we are actually working on. I think our basis was very strong in terms of the technical competency. We have been working on how to kind of recruit different people to help us to market, not only from a perception-wise, but also from how to growth hack our system so that we can get a lot of users. So as I was answering Tech's questions, we actually have 3 fronts that we're doing. One is on crowdfunding, trying to raise interest, and we are going to like product hunts, Hacker News to trying to raise interest in terms of the type of people who would endorse us. And at the same time, we are working on how to actually launch this product with different user base and how to actually grow it based on the existing user
Thank you, Jack. Your time is up.
Okay,
you started with a shy person, but the more you talk, the more confident you become.
Sure.
Yes, and we learned a lot from you. I think we only need to give you more time. So after this, I will encourage you to talk with each of them.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. So thank you everybody for being with us. And we still have 2 teams, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
So in the beginning, I don't think I did very well because I fumbled on my speech, the 3-minute pitch. It was a bit too nervous in the beginning. I think once the question and answer start engaging, that helps a lot because those are things I know very well and I understand the business very well. So I learned a lot from the judges in terms of the type of questions that they have asked us. And I think I take away quite a bit of things that we need to think about into how we strategize. Overall, I think the show really helps because it put us in front in a very tense environments to actually articulate our business and what are we going to do and how we're going to do it. We also get good feedbacks from the judges or maybe questions as to what are the issues, what are the problems, how are we going to see different scenarios, should we be B2C, should we be B2B. So overall, I think the whole process help us to hopefully will shape our company directions much clearer in the future.
Battle Silicon started in Silicon Valley, and when we coming to Hong Kong, to Cyberport, and it's actually the Battle Silicon from west goes to the east. Actually, we started Better Silicon is to creating a platform for the entrepreneurs to help them to have that dream come true and go to global market. And on this platform, we accumulate lots of good startup projects, business plans, and also the VCs and mentors in Silicon Valley and all over the world. On this platform, actually, we have a passion to tell the story of startups. Let their voice be heard, let their dream be heard. For the startups, they really need a platform to tell their story, to share with their dream, to exchange with the collaboration, the investors, and also the potential customers. When we're creating this platform in Silicon Valley, and we never thought that we could go so far, especially in Hong Kong. And especially when we come to Hong Kong, when I heard those startup stories, I think they're representing the spirit of Hong Kong. So inspiring to the other startups. And when we have this show tipped here, it's going to be aired through all our media partners to the platform to reach to hundreds and millions of audience. And I think it's such an inspiring story in Hong Kong. And also, we really enjoy working with Cyberport. They're very professional, and they are very friendly, and it's a great teamwork with Cyberport. We look forward to more collaborations with Hong Kong and Cyberport. Thank you, Hong Kong. Thank you, Cyberport. Thank you, everybody.
西游记合作单位包括向子源、长城企业战略咨询、凤凰视频、蔚源科创、Plug and Play、中关村硅谷创投、A New Domain、香港数码港、东方之星视讯网、兰亭集创。